Welcome back, guys. This is episode 6, I believe. Um, so in this episode, hopefully we can focus on China a bit more. Just try to get united. But let's just say, with China just focusing on fighting each other and focusing on uniting their nation, a lot of people are dying. And there is a lot of old people in China, so their population probably went from around maybe 130, 100, 1 billion, 300 million, down to maybe around 600 to 700 million people. And in this fighting, if they don't unite anytime soon, their country probably won't be united for a pretty long time. Maybe under Taiwan, they could have a pretty big nation. But really, I think the safest nation right now, I don't know what that is, that's South Korea, which I actually united. I made a new customation. I've actually made a few more customations. Okay, so we're gonna focus on China in this episode, and focus on Chinese, like, fighting, and, like, just that, like, let's just say that, like, this part, like, this country is, like, doing really good, because they have a lot of, like, farmers, and so is this area has, if these three nations right here are doing pretty good for themselves, because they have a lot of farmers, and so does Tibet is doing really well, because they're getting support from all these nations. China's gonna do pretty well when they're gone, but Taipei or Taiwan, whatever you want to call it, conquers some more lands in China. And I think that Republic of China could start pushing them back, solitaring their power, trying to get their troops encircled, and maybe trying to claim back Beijing. So they're going to start pushing back and encircling. They're going to be trying to take as much land as possible with their weak underbelly, which just wiping clean and just pushing back their enemies that are weaker. And they're not even focusing, pushing back their enemies. That's what they're focusing on. But by focusing on this side, their troops here slowly just get destroyed, and even more of their troops join the Democratic Rebellion. Democracy is really spreading across China rapidly, and really just getting a big claim. But guys, I don't think that this Democratic Rebel thing, because China, like we could say that, like, some of these nations, like Manchukuo, they go under, like, one religion, like probably like Fengyu or something like that. And guys, like, let's say that Japan is just funding some people, like people in the far eastern part of Russia to, like, rebel. So they do. I define that custom nation I made for them. Central America. Okay, there it is. The Far Eastern Territories. They are orange, and we're just going to give them just the basic parts. China, this is just supported by Japan, and, like, this part that Russia can't control. Japan's getting a pretty good power grab with some industry and some railroads and a few people in this area. Not really anyone angry because of this grab of power by Japan. And by this, other people, let's just say that, like, another group of people tries, like, to get independent. Let me find them, guys. Not these guys. This is the only thing that we're going to be doing in Russia this episode. Let me find them, guys. There they are. We found them, guys. There's one country. So they're not going to be like fully independent. They're basically just going to be like halfway independent. They're just going to be like halfway independent, and they're going to be able to govern themselves. Russia's not really governing them. They control the territory, but they govern themselves. They use their own currency and stuff like that. And let's do some more stuff in China. So this little tiny nation right here that is really just solid, just like keeping together, just like starts holding and starts really going down and really just pushing back, wanting Beijing, like just goes crazy and starts pushing back the democratic rebels, but ends up conquering Beijing, but loses a lot of its land to conquer Beijing. Just like how you're seeing now, they lost a crap ton of land pushing up and a ton of troops, and don't think that they're going to be able to hold on. And I think that China, like the Republic of China, or the Communist Republic of China, whatever you want to call it, CCP, Communist Republic of China, stuff like that, just ended up conquering and kicking that other nation and basically just bringing one of these nations down. But China is really finding itself with corruption and stuff. And at this point, everyone's trying to focus down China. But they hold on to Beijing in this part of China right here. And Mongolia is supporting China, kind of. Let's just keep doing what we're doing in China. So, the Lathrixine dynasty of China is really safe in this corner, and is really just going ham, conquering, like, this small part of China right here. Gains a lot of power base. And Manchukuo decides with the support. Basically, Japan is, like, influencing a lot of nations, like Manchukuo and Korea and like a lot of the Pacific nations, okay, because they're pretty strong. They're a really strong nation, okay, really strong. And just communist China is like losing a ton of power and a lot of land to all these people conquering them. Guys, these two provinces right here have the exact same name. That is very weird. You should have these guys push out trying to conquer more lands. And then, guys, guess what happens in China? famine happens because there is not combined farming from a united nation that has a massive population. And they're not united, and they're all fighting each other, so they're not. And they're sending and getting as much as people out and trying to fight. It's possible these guys push back the Lathraxian dynasty of China, which only has 3 provinces left at this point. She probably has some territory down in here or something like that. Yeah, it probably does. A lot of nations do. And then they basically, with the troops they have left, decide they want to try to take Beijing. Oops. But kind of fail. Nearly conquering. Wait, did they conquer Beijing? Beijing is fine currently, but democratic rebels are really just dominating the south part of China. This is what would happen. Southern part of China would be dominated by these democratic rebels, being supported by the democratic nations of the West, and would kick this Ganzhou dynasty warlord, basically just kick them out of China, and it's coming down to a few nations. As you can see. But the fighting doesn't stop there, because the new Xia dynasty warlord has a ton of power and just decides that they want to start taking a bunch of land away from their neighbor, take their power grab. They thought they were going to win China. Nope. China remains ununited. We're just gonna keep doing this until all the nations are gone in China, and then there's only one left. Okay guys, so this part of the Republic of China is really weak from the attacks and just skirmishing with New Xia, which became a stalemate, and just Manchukuo seized the opportunity to conquer this very weak territory, which really, really angers New Xia and the Lathraxian dynasty of China. And these two team up to fight Manchukuo, but Manchukuo has really not been doing that much fighting, so is able to hold these two off with ease, making them seem like they're weak compared to Manchukuo. And Thailand decides they want to take some more coastline. They take a few more coastline provinces. You guys might be thinking that Taiwan is just going to get away with conquering all this territory. No, they start getting in a fight in this area, skirmishing with the Guangzhou dynasty warlord, which ends up taking and conquering Macau and this strait right here, but not able to conquer anything else and just exhaust himself, so ends up getting beat back by Guangdong warlord, which just absolutely crushes them, and now they're really weak, but they keep fighting, pushing into China, Taiwan, but they're not able to take Hong Kong from Taiwan. Taiwan even takes these small island chain out in the middle of the South China Sea, or no, that's not South China Sea. It might be. This is the South China Sea right here. I could have just looked at it. It's the East China Sea, okay. Not much information on it. Hey guys, so now the Guangdong decide they want to make a mass assault to just take over the rest of China. So they end up attacking. They end up attacking in this area and just rip through right here. It's really weak, but then all over here is super strong in defense, and they just rip around and just absolutely wreck them in this part of China. As you can see, this really weakened Xi, but they are still the strongest power in China, and to start pushing out the democratic rebels and to the sea if they can. China is extremely splintered at this point and weak, and the new Xi dynasty was probably the clear winner of who's gonna freaking win China. Takes all this territory from all their neighbors, even kicks out the Lathyrxian dynasty of China from China. But then uses up all of its men to conquer all this territory. And then all the nations left decide that it's time for peace talks. And you know what that means? China is united. It's a lot weaker than it was before, but is united. And from famine and this new united, the new power of China, New Xia. What do you guys want New Xia to be? What do you want their what do you want it to be? Democracy? Maybe they're definitely not going to be communist. So don't say they're communist. They're not communist, guys. They're not communist. Okay, guys. What do you guys want them to be in the comments? I think that they should be basically like a neutral, basically like a super peaceful nation after the warlord period ends. They're super peaceful. They bring down their military just super low numbers. Just their military spending probably would be equal on par with Mongolia, which is Mongolia and Tibet, or maybe even worse than Mongolia and Tibet, which are both weak nations compared to the behemoths. These two nations alone probably have around 70 million population at this point, and the new Xia dynasty probably only has around 400, 500 million with the land it currently has. Because there was famine and a crap ton of fighting and just old people dying in general, old people and stuff like that. If you guys don't know, China has a very large old person population. They have a lot of old people in their nation, and it's just a long time. So basically, there's a few warlords remaining, and a few nations got independence from the war, like Tibet, Manchukuo, Tibet, or Taiwan gets a bunch of land, and these two nations basically become allies or being influenced. This nation right here, Guangdong or Dongyao, however you want to say it, is being influenced by Vietnam, and then Guangzhou is being influenced by Taiwan. And then Free Nation, basically, then you have the Japan theater. They have Korea, Manchukuo, and Thailand. That's why they were so strong. I mean, I could have had Manchukuo conquer China, but that's not really. I didn't really want them to conquer China. I kind of just wanted either the custom nation that was Laphixia, the Laphrixian dynasty of China, or Ningxia, because they did spawn out. They had a pretty good location, lots of population, good industry, good farming. So I mean, they had a good place to start off with. They had a lot of industry in that area, a lot of farming stuff. So I would expect they probably would come out on top. They have a lot of guns and a lot of people in that area. So they come out on top, but China is by far not united. It's pretty weak. It's in a pretty weak situation, but I would say that it's pretty decent for now. And guys, I'm going to end this episode here. I might post it today maybe. I already posted a video today. Well, I hope you guys do enjoy these videos, because they do take a little bit to make, because I gotta make custom nations and stuff like that. Well, I hope you guys enjoy this series. If you guys do enjoy this series and want to have any suggestions for what me to do, if you guys want another series, I will make another series on this channel, on this game, and it will be a lot different. Maybe when we get maybe 50 to 100 subscribers, we'll do another series where you guys suggest what I do on here, and I'll maybe post a video every week or two on this game. Well, peace out, guys.